Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about Dawnbreaker, which is the sequel to Night Runner, and this is the full duology. So the series is finished and all like that. So I guess I would talk overall like about the whole duology, and obviously we're not going to spoil Dawnbreaker, but this is what I had as an arc. This was released on the 7th of November, so a few days ago. So you can pick up the whole trilogy, not trilogy, duology now, if you so feel like doing so. So Night Runner follow this kingdom island place, which is split into 3 kingdoms. I don't actually remember if there was more, but that's the expression I got, that there were only 3. They've always been at war with each other and fighting each other for like hundreds and thousands of years. And now one of the kingdoms is going to break like this kind of accord they have, where they're not allowed to use malice on each other, if I remember correctly. I will explain more what malice is soon. But basically that means that 2 of the other kingdoms are pairing up together, and they have a prince and a princess that are going to get married. On the way to the princess kingdom, the princess goes missing, or like she doesn't get actually missing. They know where she is, but she's stuck in this malice place and they can't get her out. And malice is this thing that basically makes everything go to shit. It's kind of this rot that affects people and just rots everything around them and like makes chaotic things happen, as I that's the expression I got. It kills people. It's very bad. Every few years or so, they had to summon the Night Runner, who has magical abilities. She is like really, really powerful and immortal, and she uses these abilities to fight off the malice, like drives it back, removes the different mal sites, which is where the princess got stuck. She got stuck in there, etc. And then she goes back to sleep until the malice grows up again, and I need to summon her again. However, 400 years ago, when the Night Runner was summoned last, everything went to shit, so they haven't summoned her in 400 years. So it means that the world is also going to shit. They also all believe that the malice is like, it's gonna come one day, but it's like a certain point where they have to summon her, which we call what? A milestop? It was called something. An insurgence. Everything has words, okay? I just don't remember the exact expressions. But the point is that this day is coming up soon, but a lot of like the rulers don't believe this. The prince, however, do believe so and does summon the Night Runner, and then they're gonna say Princess hand so that they can get together towards this other kingdom that is like doing bad stuff. In theory, all the kingdoms are bad. They are just warring with each other for no reason at all for years and years and years. And I do believe that bad actions, or is it just me, bad actions, or like war and like suffering in general, makes the malice grow more? Or was that just in my head? I don't know. But yeah, so the Night Runner is back and she needs to save this world, which is like even worse off than it ever could have been. She also has her own problems, because maybe her powers is not working right. It's like, it's been 400 years it was summoned, so why is this happening? The prince is dealing with like having to marry this princess, as well as maybe having feelings for the Night Runner, as well as was not really the heir, but was chosen to be so after his older brother died, and his parents just like don't really love him. And then we have Han, who definitely had a interesting path. I actually enjoyed her storyline the most of all of them, because she definitely goes a bit over like, I was gonna say, darker and darker, and she can be very manipulative and very like, I was gonna say she's the brain woman here. She has really interesting plans, and I really enjoyed following her patterns and like how she was thinking, and then it all comes together and plays out. So in the first one, I honestly didn't really have that many expectations, because it seemed like a YA fantasy I'd seen kind of before, and I was just like, I don't really want to read it, because like there's limited time in my life, which sounds really, really, really bad. I'm sorry. But then Justine sent me this arc and I was like, okay, I just need it. Fine. I listened to the audiobook of the first one. Absolutely enjoyed the heck out of it. It was just the way the narrator did such a good job. Different perspectives were really, really interesting. I definitely like the prince the less. I can't even remember his name right now. Rune. It's the same name as my uncle. Maybe we didn't pronounce it like that. And I really like the Night Runner perspective, but definitely like Han's perspective a lot, and just seeing their stories play out. And I was just like, how are they going to solve this? How is this going to work out? The first book ends on a massive cliffhanger, which like I'm glad I had a second book at once. And I read that with really high expectations, and I definitely think that the way the story was wrapped up and the way that everything came together was interesting. But I also feel like it was a bit rushed, because I do feel like we could explore so many more things more. And in my head, I actually thought it was a trilogy for some reason, because I didn't want to spoil myself to see if it was a duology or not. And at the same time, though, I feel like a trilogy would have dragged everything out. At the same time, I feel like this could have been dragged a bit more out. I feel like the sequel, which is 310 pages, could have been like 400 pages to flesh out the things happening. Because how they solved the conflicts, how they figured stuff out, how each character figured their shit out, it went so fast. I felt like Night Runner was very slow paced, and we got to know like each person's problems and mindsets. And in this one, we just like, well, you already know the characters, so let's just rush all their storylines, as well as rushing the main conflict. So I wish that I felt more of an attachment to the story now in the sequel, and I wish that it just had paced itself down a bit and like made the things happening seem, I guess, more realistic is maybe, I don't know if that's the right word, but like, I think it was just so easy. Like, we're gonna do this, and I did it, and I was just like, oh, like there was no like last thing that like blew your mind or anything, which is what I felt like the first book gave, but this one didn't. There's definitely other parts of the characters that are revealed in this one that was really interesting, and I guess I liked where the characters ended up, but I thought it was also a bit like very convenient, which is, I guess, kind of the point. But it was just like, oh, we solved this by doing this and this. So again, like, this is two other things I solved, and except the other things I talked about that was being solved earlier, because I don't want to spoil it. So what I just wanted was that, I don't know, a bit less of a maybe obvious ending, even though, again, like, how else could I have it ended? I don't know, honestly. But honestly, enjoyed the characters a lot, thoroughly enjoyed the world a lot. I really liked the story that was built here. I had like overall a good time. I gave the first book a strong 4 out of 5 stars, which I honestly would recommend so much, and I need to buy myself a physical copy, because again, I did audiobook. And the second book I will give a 3 out of 5 stars. So it's not like terrible or anything like that. I just didn't enjoy this as much as the first one. But overall, like, well written, good characters, like really great characters. And the plot could have been worked a bit more with, and the world was interesting, even though I still had questions. So yeah, overall a good time. And if you heard about the series, I mean, hesitate to pick it up. Now it's your clue, because I do think it was worth reading. It was a good time. I feel like it had unique parts of it that I haven't seen like in other YA fantasy, I guess, I read recently. Also, maybe perhaps had like some, one of my characters were definitely like not straight, is what I wanted to say. So I really enjoy like the teasy bits of that. So I feel like there could be more. I honestly feel like we could have followed the story more to solve more of the mysteries in this world, because I feel like this conflict was solved-ish. But I still feel like, is it solved though? And I feel like they had a lot of like hints to that they didn't know what was beyond of the world. Like, they hinted over and over that they didn't know what was outside this island that was like surrounded by the malice. And I'm like, is there more out there? It made me like question that. So I feel like there's definitely more room for maybe a spin-off, because I definitely want one of the characters to like investigate more into like her sexuality and get like a happy ending for herself, maybe explore the world or something, because I would really like to see that. So yeah, if they did a spin-off, I would definitely read it. And I feel like there's so much more to explore, as I said. So I feel like their questions are unanswered, but I feel like the people living in these kingdoms are gonna relax for a tiny bit. I guess that was my thoughts. I talked a lot and really fast. I'm really sorry, but I hope I made sense. I would definitely recommend it. I had a good time. So yeah, you should go and pick up this book. That's what I think. Thank you so much for watching. You should see me soon in a new video. Put a sun emoji down below if you enjoyed this, because at dawn the sun comes up. Right? Okay. Good night. Goodbye. See you soon.